right, let's talk about Shortwave. It follows at the beginning a woman who loses her daughter, I guess. I mean, they're in like a bookstore or some shit like that in the very opening scene, and she goes to the bathroom, she comes back, boom, daughter's gone. Then fast forward, and that same lady is with some sort of researcher, I guess we could say, that is on the verge of some very monumental discovery, we're led to believe, as a couple. They're together and sort of both mourning the loss of this missing child, although we're led to believe that it's been quite a few years since this happened. I mean, her hair's different. She looks like a completely different person, and she's much more depressed and shit now.
That I was not expecting the first, 10, maybe even 15 minutes?
I'm going to say 25.
Okay, was it that long?
Yeah, I looked.
So, to explain that, I guess, there is a whole beginning section that feels like almost like a whole lot of short films, very much short films kind of cut together like really quick. Later on, I guess, makes a little more sense. Not to say that it makes a lot of sense, but it makes more sense. But it's almost jarring at the beginning because there's no frame of reference for why this is happening.
I actually sent you a text like as I was watching it, because I was having a really hard time getting through that opening 25 minutes or so of the film, and what it felt like to me, more so than like short films, was, you know, when you watch a music video like that has a story being told in the video, and you just get like a couple scenes throughout there, and it might just be a person sitting on a bed, or it might just be someone driving in a car, but you get just enough of that scene to convey the story that they're trying to tell you in the music video. That's exactly what this felt like here. And I get what they're trying to say. I get what this scene is for, but it wasn't presented in a very cinematic way at all.
It is presented in a very, I would say, a very beautiful way.
Sure.
Yes. I think the key, the way you phrase it, it makes the most sense. Cinematic, it's not. Because the dude is flexing some muscles. Ryan Gregory Phillips, I believe is his name. Flexing some serious, like, film school muscles with the way he's choosing shots, the way he's choosing color, the use of focus.
There's one upside down shot that comes through the house. And it's super cool stuff.
Just using a lot, but yeah, it's just put together in a very almost awkward manner.
You mentioned what might be my biggest peeve with this film. Certain scenes have like a really strong tilt shift-esque focus applied to them. Like the center of the shot is really focused, but it's almost like a vignette of unfocused shit going around. It's just there from time to time for whatever reason, and I thought that was, for me, severely distracting. Now, we'll say there is a line of dialogue later in the film that I think explains it.
That line of dialogue makes me think that I need to go back and watch this entire film again, because I was, kind of as the character points out, missing out on a lot because of the focus.
So I'm glad that we're
right
seeing eye to eye on that one, and I don't think we're wrong. Even with that line of dialogue being said, it's still kind of a clunky first 20-25 minutes or so. But once the gears start moving, you get some really intense sort of stuff in there. Some intense violence, believe it or not. Some surprising events that happen. Some shocking shit that pops up on screen from time to time. And overall, I think we can say this, but overall, I thought like the musical accompaniment with the movie was very, very good. The music has sort of this indie chill sort of vibe that really complements the gorgeous setting that they're in, that minimalistic house.
I love that minimalistic house.
Like, I think all of that played together very well.
And it's not the kind of music that you normally kind of associate with a horror film. Even in an indie horror film, which they're typically more willing to kind of branch out and do something different. But for whatever reason, it's just kind of like, you're like, oh, I'm settled in. This is nice.
Yeah.
Which kind of puts you in a different mindset for when shit hits the fan. You're like, oh, it's not nice anymore. This is the exact opposite of nice.
I'm going to raise you this one question.
Raise it to me.
Do you understand holistically what this movie was about?
Absolutely not.
Neither do I.
Absolutely not.
Neither do I.
And it's like one of those movies where you're kind of going back and forth, like, oh, okay, it's this way, but then a little bit later, you're like, no, it's this way. And at the end, you're not, at least I don't think we're 100% sure which way it is. Now, that said, I think those answers are in the movie.
I agree.
I just need to go back, take the knowledge that was given to me, and reapply.
I will say there are some acting, some performance issues in there.
Now, we do have our boy, I believe his first name's Cristobal from The Stranger. Remember the pseudo vampire flick?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Josh, our main lead man.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I did not even put that together.
So we've got
he was not a problem.
No, well, obviously not.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I loved the special effects. I thought it was done in a very tasteful way without trying to, like, sometimes, just being a little bit in the background made all the difference. I think the only problem that struggled just a little bit was some of the more gory parts at the very, very end. And even those were okay. They just looked a little off.
So I was going to say there's an incident with a knife during one of the effects. Shocker. But I thought it looked super good. Like one of the more brutal that I've seen in a while.
That one is good.
One iffy sort of effect on there. Two pretty good effects, and some cool design choices, I will say, throughout the rest of it that I thought was pretty cool. Would you recommend it?
I would recommend it. I can't prepare you for the film in any way, but just kind of, I guess, mentally know that the first part is going to be very artistic. There's going to be a lot of flexing of different techniques and stuff. So if you're a film nerd, you're gonna like that, though. I think
that's probably true. I recommend it.
So
for sure.
That's two solid recommends.
That's it.
That's it, man.
Cool.